Here you be looking. Here you be looking for me. All across the Delta. Gone see here you be looking. Here you be looking for me. I'm gone across the Delta. Gone stepping.
Hey, good Wednesday afternoon, everybody, from Ooltewah, Tennessee. This is Steve Ray, owner of the Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store in Ooltewah, Tennessee, and of the Midnight Oil Service Station that's right next door to the Owl's Nest Barbecue Store. Gas station, tires, service, barbecue store, grills, sauces, rubs, everything you need right there. It's a one-stop shop in little old Ooltewah, Tennessee. Hey, we're gonna bring on Pete and Jason here in just a minute, and we're gonna be talking about. We did a cook last week with the Franklin BBQ Pit, the new Franklin BBQ Pit available at the store, and we're gonna go over that, and we're also gonna go over in just a little bit all the different grills that we have. This was Pete's idea last week, and we need to do that, and it's a great idea, and we'll be going over that in just a minute. I want to remind everybody you can follow us on Facebook on the Owl's Nest Barbecue page. That's where we post all the different products and some news and notes that we have. And you can also follow us on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Nation. That's your page for you to show off a little bit of the different cooks you have and post the different pictures of the foods. And, of course, you can follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube. Please go there and subscribe. We've got, several hundred videos up. And we've got one video that Jason Penley did, who'll be with us in just a second. And he did a walk around of the Franklin Pit, and you'll really enjoy that. There's, I think over 1,500 views on it now. So when we come back, we're going to have the whole crew. So stay with us.
Hey, we're in touch, so you be in touch. Follow us and watch us on Facebook, and also watch the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show on YouTube. And please follow us on Instagram for some great ideas, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more and more videos.
And there they are. There's the whole crew. There's Pete next to me. Jason Penley down there in Rock Spring, Georgia, not Rock Springs. Rock Spring.
That's Georgia. Right. No S.
And Jason, tell everybody what grill you've got for sale. You've got it's a weekly thing, isn't it, Pete? It's a weekly thing.
Yeah. Everything's got a price.
So you don't have anything. You don't have anything left. You sold the was it the Pecos or the? You sold that.
Yep. Sold the Pecos. Sold the GMG, and I've got a Old Country Smokehouse vertical
smokehouse.
Yep.
Now,
I still got it.
Does that smokehouse? Is that a water? Is that got a water pan in it?
It does. Yep.
So it works like that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
it's a really a great cooker at the price point it's at, even brand new. It's a great cooker.
Well, we're going to be talking about cookers tonight. Go ahead, Jason. You want to say something?
No, you're good. I just I got one little complaint on the smokehouse, but other than that, it's a really good cooker.
Well, put your complaints in the box in the back of the store. You know where it's at. Hey, I just want to remind everybody, if you're planning your vacation this summer or this spring, put Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply Store on your agenda of places to stop. Now, I know you might not have to stop at Buc-ee's. Okay, you might have to actually go past Sevierville and go past Buc-ee's to keep time. But if you'll stop at my place, the Owl's Nest Barbecue Store in Ooltewah, right next to my Midnight Oil gas station, you can still get gas. Now, our claim to fame is we have 98 fewer gasoline dispensers than Buc-ee's. Okay, we have 2; they've got 100. So, but you know what? It's not near as busy, and it's not near as crazy, but it's just as much fun in it, fellas.
Oh, that's right.
I need to look at while you're there.
And this is how you get there. And then write this down. Now, we've had people, we've had several of our buddies stop by, our internet pals. Johnny Maggs from Pit Life Barbecue, he stopped last year with his wife and family, and we made hamburgers for them. We had Jeff Rice of Dead Broke Barbecue. You've probably known Jeff. He was on just a few weeks ago, Ricer. He and his family stopped by to see us. And we've had Steve Dotson of the Cookout Coach of internet and YouTube fame. He stopped by and saw us. So it's always fun to put a real person with all these internet faces that we meet throughout the year. So put that on your agenda. You come down I-75, you get off at exit number 11. If you're heading south, you'll get off at exit number 11. You'll go to the red light. You'll turn left. You'll go back under the interstate and look to your left. You'll see my Midnight Oil service station. Look for the big sign in the sky that says Owl's Nest Barbecue, and you're there. If you're heading north, get off at exit 11, go to the red light, turn right, immediately look to your left, and you'll see us. Jason and Pete, is it not the easiest place in the world to find?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and there's people that go by and they actually intend to stop or they don't, and then sooner or later they do, and they're like, wow, I've seen this place for a while, I just never stopped, I'm glad I have. And then they continue to come back. I do want to add, you also had David Bosca come.
How could I forget David?
How could you forget David?
Yeah.
Right?
He was here last May.
Sure. Lesson. Brisket and carving a brisket and talked about his seasonings and stuff as well.
And you know what we got in today, Jason? Pete, tell them what we got. No. What else? This morning, what else? I texted you. Well, you can tell me.
So brisket that Steve ordered and has came into the store there. So we have a brisket to try, one of Aaron Franklin's brisket.
And we're going to warm it up on an Aaron Franklin pit. How about that?
Nice. How's the marbling look in it?
You can't tell. It's cooked.
Oh, you ordered one from the restaurant.
Yeah, Goldbelly. Yeah, went through Goldbelly and got it.
Okay.
The best I can, I watched that. Have you watched that video on him yet? That guy put out. He's doing a tour of the restaurant.
I've watched a few of them. I'm not sure. I don't recognize that name right off bat, but you said it's Goldbelly.
Yeah, Jason, go to if you go to our Facebook page, Owl's Nest Barbecue. I've got it posted there. It's a tour that Aaron Franklin did of his restaurant recently, and he goes behind the scenes and shows you every nook, every cranny, every storage room, the trailers, the reefer. It's just a fantastic video, and he talks about Goldbelly and how they cook the brisket. This brisket, we got it Tuesday afternoon. I think this brisket was cooked on Sunday. Shrunk wrap, put in they ship it in a great little package, and to keep it cool. And we got it Tuesday, so it's fresh. It's not. They said never frozen, did they, Pete?
Never frozen. It says you can freeze it, but they will never freeze it and send it You asked about the marbling, even though when it was vacuum sealed. I looked at the marbling the best I could tell, and it looked really good from what you could tell. I mean, it's not a whole lot. I mean, from the outside, from the bottom or the top, it's a smaller brisket than what you and I probably normally cook.
Right.
It's a good sized. I've never seen any of that, kind of that size. But I'll tell you, I can't wait to try it.
It's
It's
5.5 pounds cooked.
It's the flat and the point, both?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's a little thick, but short.
I can't
Okay.
wait to try it. I can't wait
That's
to
the way
try
I am, Pete.
Yeah, exactly.
it. All right, we're going to talk more about Aaron Frank. Jason, did you see that video? Were you watching when I played it? We're going to talk about some smokers. We might as well start with Franklin's, and then we'll delve into the cook. Watch this video for just a second. I'm going to show it again. Okay. Now I know I've got that door open, but did you see how the smoke spins when it got on the end of that with the what's it called,
The ellipsoidal end.
the ellipsoidal end? How
Yep.
you can see how it's going to move the heat
Yep.
once the cooker's ready to cook on.
And
And
if you remember, his name is slipping my mind. What was the guy you had on the other day that was the
Jerry.
director?
Sure.
Yeah. And they spent a lot of time, he and Aaron going back and forth, and that's exactly the look, the design that Aaron was shooting for in that smoker. He wanted that convection, that rotation of that hot air inside that smoker, and that it looks like that's what he's achieved.
Talk about that just a little bit. Pete, I want to start with the full lineup of smokers that we've got, because looking back when we started this thing back in 2018, 2019, I had pit barrel cookers and that was all. Then we added Green Mountain grills. But right now we have got, if I'm counting right, we've got the tabletop charcoal grill from Old Country BBQ Pits. That's a tabletop full straight out charcoal. You seen that, Jason?
I did see that. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you broke one in yet and cooked on it?
No, not yet. But $89.
Yeah.
Looks like the perfect tailgate, the perfect little, trip to the lake on the weekend, break it out on Saturday, put it on the park bench or whatever at the lake and
Yeah.
hot dogs and, whatever. It looks like a little handy, little versatile grill.
It's not chintzy either. It's
Well
quality
built.
stuff.
Good deal.
And then the next level up, we've got the Badger barrel from Pit Barrel Cookers at $249, and we've done videos on that. Real quick, I can show you real quick how you can use that. Hold on just a second. That's us searing off a tomahawk steak after we hung it and smoked it for till it got up to about 120 degrees. So we got that. So you got one at $89, $249, and we added the charcoal grill, the standalone charcoal grill from Old Country Pits too. We've added $289. All these things. What I'm trying to say is they're all affordable at $289. It's just a charcoal grill, but what you can do for it, you can set it up. You can set it up for 2-zone cooking, Pete.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know, Jason, if you've seen that one.
I don't know if I have that.
That's a nice little charcoal grill, and I'll tell you, you can adjust it, cook it for 2-zone, but just the size of it, it's got plenty of room to cook a bunch. Yet you can, if you're just cooking small, it's good. It's built really well. It has a door on the end for venting. Actually, for the money, I was surprised at how well built and what it looked like. All these grills that he's talking about right now are all of really good quality. They're not just thin, fall apart stuff.
Has there y'all put any pictures of that on the Owl's Nest page? I'm not sure I've even seen that cooker.
I don't know if we've.
We actually talked yesterday or couple of days ago. Steve's gonna put together kind of a sheet that's got everything showing it, so that he can kind of gets out there and everybody can see. Although we're talking about it tonight, a good picture with a variety of it out there.
Yeah, and what I want, Jason, when you get time, is to come up to the store on maybe Saturday, and look it over and do like a little walk around presentation with it.
Okay,
on the new studio that you built.
Yeah, because
they're really neat.
Yeah, but like if you go to the Old Country website, like finding that type of stuff on the website it's virtually impossible.
No, you can't.
We went there. Was it today or yesterday? And that's what I was talking about. Their website doesn't do them any justice, because they've got a lot. Actually, if you go to Academy's website, you can see more on their website of what Old Country carries than what they have on their own.
That is true.
And soon soon we'll get those pictures. We're working on my website too, so you'll be able to go to Owl's Nest barbecue website too. We are frantically updating that as we speak. So that's going to be a real cool website. We'll talk more about that when we get it up. You go from the charcoal grill, $289. Then you've got the pit barrel cooker. You've got the PBX, the two sizes of the pit barrels, which are. Have you ever cooked on a pit barrel, Jason?
I have not.
We got to break you in on that. You'll really like that. That's neat. And then the next up is the lineup of Green Mountain grills. They're going to be $499, $999, and $1199 for the three different sizes. We got the Trek, the Ledge, and the Peak. They're supposed to be here yesterday. It was ugly.
Shipping companies.
Well, no, I don't know. We don't know who it is, but it was not a pretty day today. So hopefully they'll be here Friday.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you though, I've seen some pictures of some guys. I think the Western United States started getting the 2.0s first.
Yeah,
and I've seen some pictures of them in some Facebook groups, and they look impressive.
Yeah, Pete and I saw them at the expo in Nashville last month, and they're very impressive. They up their game. They're better built. They're a little heavier duty for what you get for the money in that popular price range. Is you're gonna like them. You're really gonna like them. And after the Green Mountain grills, we've got the Old Country pits. We've got the Gravity feed. It comes in at $14.95, and the G2 that comes in at $18.95. The G2 is an offset cooker. We did you can go to our YouTube channel and watch that video. We did a presentation video with that couple from over in Lookout Valley that bought one. Yeah. That's a really cool smoker, really easy to use. And then after that, we got the Franklin. Barbecue Pit comes in at $5,100, which is the most expensive cooker I've ever sold new. I've sold some used ones that were more, but this is the most expensive one we've ever sold new.
And along with that product line and having all those things that he's got, now he currently has a way for folks, if you want to finance one, you can finance it, right, Steve?
Yep. FlexBuy.
That's up and going now?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've teamed up with FlexBuy. That's easy. It's a simple little application to fill out. They throw your name into the hat. They feed it to about 30 different banks. You'll get the offers. You pick the best offer, and you hook up with the bank and you go from there. It's super easy, and they've got liberal terms. The rates aren't crazy. There's none of that crazy, 25, 30% stuff out there. They're normal bank rates, because you're dealing with a normal bank. They're just a broker, and they want you to get the best value for your money that you can. So you can buy that $5,100 smoker if you'd like, put a little money down, and maybe take a year to pay for it, because
it is tax season. So take that tax check, go cash it, and buy you a smoker. The gift that keeps on giving.
A good smoker.
Absolutely.
Don't go to don't go to these hardware stores and get, it's like, everybody wants to get a Weber kettle. That charcoal grill that we've got from Old Country Pits for $289 will do everything a Weber kettle will do, but the only difference is this will last for 20 years, where the Weber kettle you can get about 3 years out of it.
Right.
And
Right.
if you don't, the
Well,
way people are now.
Well, and two, it's the after the sale care. If you're buying something from a big box store, that yahoo that's selling you that smoker, that grill, they've never cooked on it. They
No.
have really no clue of how it operates, how it cooks, what kind of product it turns out. Your local hometown store, you demoed a $5,100 grill the other day, so now you know how it cooks, what kind of product it puts out, and you can speak from experience on that smoker now.
Yeah, oh, that's nice.
Well, we've got a demo now, so you never know what we'll do at a demo. But
Something when you haven't tested it.
yes, it
yourself.
is. Yes, it is.
I really got, for people to come in and ask me questions and I can't tell them an answer, I got a problem with that. So being able to cook on something and then they ask you, well, how do you know? Well, let me tell you, we've been cooking on it. Here's what we identified early. Here's what we learned. Here's the things that you won't have to learn if you buy one here, because we're going to tell you those things.
And that came true when we were doing a demo with that Old Country barbecue pit, that G2 that has that insulated box on it. And when we were demoing it with this couple that had bought it, we were actually cooking ribs together. We were trying to get the temperature up, and I was explaining the fire and the flow, and I had him I put another log on the fire. And what I did is we put too much fuel in there, and we ended up getting too big of a temperature spike. Of course, they're easy to bring down, but I didn't realize until I used it that you don't have to put a lot of fuel in that offset.
Right.
It's the same way with the Franklin pit.
Right.
Jason, you would have enjoyed it. Actually, this man and wife, very, very nice people. They brought their chairs. They were tailgating. That's
Nice.
what they came. They brought their ribs. Steve gave them some sauce. They did them up the night before. They brought their chairs. They sat down, and we tailgated out there from start to finish on their ribs.
Steve, have y'all ever done like a demo day at the store, like, where you've got a couple of different styles of grills, and fire up and have people show up and, actually hands-on experience demo day type thing?
We did one with the pit barrel cookers a few years ago. We had about 15 people. We had people bring their pit barrel cookers.
Oh.
And we all cooked in the driveway there. Of course, the weather was terrible that day, and it was I think it was right before Thanksgiving, and we were doing turkeys. And when it's weather's like that, it's hard to get those things to cook.
Sure.
Any smoker to cook.
Sure.
We've done that. And we've done demo days. We've done classes. Jay, we've done it all. We've done it all.
The next thing we're going to try to do, turn this up to Steve. I'm going to keep putting this in his ear. We're going to do I like the name Barbecue Blitz. And we don't know yet what all that might be or what we do, but that'll be something that
we said what, March
can't remember the
4th.
We looked at the date.
Or May 4th.
Oh, I think March 4th done gone.
Yeah. May 4th.
You missed it.
Because on the 11th, we'll be downtown at the Big Pig Festival. Yeah. And Owl's Nest Barbecue will be there, so come and see us. I think we're going to do it the 4th. We'll have a day where we'll get all the pro staffers who can come on out, and we'll get a couple grills set up, and we'll make some chicken wings, and we'll do some. We'll have a brisket there, and we'll serve some food, and answer a lot of kinds of questions, and maybe have a little class. Have somebody teach a pork butt class and a brisket class.
I think that'd be great.
Oh yeah,
hey,
they're a lot of fun.
Hey, if you can talk Barbecue Mike into bringing that black book and go, releasing some of that black book information on that day.
He wanted to trade it for a grill, a smoker the other day.
You wait till Steve Davidson hears that.
Hey, Steve,
yeah, he's out there into my black book. I said, I'll take the one with the girls in it. I can keep the grill under the recipes.
Right.
So Steve did say this, but I think it would behoove me to do it. But I want to throw this in. we got some gurus coming too, right? The kits with the fans.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't run you can, but you're not going to be successful to run gravity feed without one of them. So Steve's, if you're selling those, you got to have what they need to go. So those are coming in as well.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I want-
we're all in the couple of Facebook groups and stuff, and people's all the time asking, and I said, man, controller with a fan, hands down, like it makes it such a joy of a pit to run. I mean, you can literally set the temperature and go to bed.
Yeah, it is a big pellet cooker.
I can tell you, I really can't tell you how many times, but it's been a lot that Steve and I, as neighbors, Steve would have his limo junior out there, one of his gravity feeds out there. We'd get the thing rolling, started, temperature set. See you tomorrow morning, gone, and come back the next morning. I mean, we've done it tons and tons of times.
Yeah, it should be just a standard item when you buy a gravity feed. I'm guessing any brand, like, just go ahead and put you a controller and fan on it and be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like how you turned, by the way, your valve up and got it up on yours. So you're pretty neat at how you do some changes to smokers out there.
Well, the reason I did that, I've got a retaining wall here at my house, and I back that pit right up to the retaining wall right there. And I noticed, like, when I opened my firebox door, to put a little wood chunk in there to get me the good smoke, like my fan was almost trying to beat the wall over there, and I said, I'm not wild about my fan, so I turned it up that way. It's a lot smaller footprint, because by the time you add that fitting and the valve and the fan, this sucker's sticking out 20 inches from my pit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got to fix any pit that you buy. You got to fix it to fit your needs.
Absolutely.
And that thing's easy. I mean, that thing's, and what Jason didn't cost $20 probably.
Well, $13, was the fitting that I did. And I'll tell y'all too, and I don't want to drag this subject out, but there was a guy that commented the other day about a quick connect. It never really even dawned on me to put a union in it. You could put a union, screw it loose, and take your valve and stuff loose, take your fan and set it apart, and totally break it down.
But you don't need to do that. That fan.
You don't have to, but if you were doing competitions, if you were traveling with it, and didn't want to, just simple unscrew it, put it in the drawer and load up and go.
Hey, let's talk about this Franklin Pit now. We did the cook on, I think it was what day was that, Pete? Friday?
Yeah.
Were you there? You're there, weren't you? Yeah, Friday. Yeah, because Steve Davidson came by too. Because we started out with yeah, that's right. We started out with hot dogs, bacon wrapped hot dogs, and then we started with chicken wings, and then overnight we did a brisket. We sliced that brisket Saturday afternoon, we did a little show. It's from the store. But what I wanted to do was get into the cook a little bit and talk about how the airflow is on this thing, and how easy it is to operate. It's not like your old offset where it's working you to death. When you dial this thing in, it has no dampeners. Number one, there's no dampeners. Your back door, the door to the firebox, is the only dampener that you've got. And you kind of use that door as an airflow regulator. So when we finally got it dialed in, of course, the first thing I did, I built too big of a fire in it. I built a fire like I would in the old offsets that I've had.
And I think that because of what we watched with and talked about on Aaron Franklin's, the way that he's got his flow and everything going, it don't take that, Steve, like it could in some of them. The flow is so perfect with a smaller fire. It's amazing to me.
Mm-hmm. It is.
That air gap, the insulated firebox, it makes it a lot more efficient with the heat that it produces.
Yeah. And when this thing gets going, the thing about how it says how it pulls the air, it doesn't push it, it pulls it. It is so evident. As you saw in that one video with that smoke, twirling and then exiting through the smoke collector.
It creates
the
that a vortex.
Yeah, yeah. And when we did, we we did the bacon wrapped hot dogs as a joke because Pete said you went somewhere and they
I
had
went to-
bacon wrapped pork. You went to some sort of where'd you
It
go?
was Irish festival.
Yeah.
And look, I watched hundreds
Mhm.
and hundreds of those things being sold. People were just loving those things, but they had them on a grill set up and just, I mean, 50 to 100 at a time. And they were just wrapped so perfect with bacon. Bacon just kind of melted down to them, and people were buying them like crazy, Steve.
Oh, they were delicious. I mean, they were delicious. And the
Bacon
next
makes
thing we did,
everything better.
yeah, well, the next thing we did was chicken wings, and really because we all everybody likes chicken wings, and usually we usually grill our chicken wings at the store, but I wanted to smoke them and use the hot spots to our advantage, and we did another cook on them today, and it was amazing how right where the fire comes out into the pit out of that big tube, obviously it's hot right there, and you can get those chicken wings, get them close after they're done, and you can get them crispy there. But Jason, in the back of that smoker towards the smoke collector, it's also a little bit hotter back there,
Ah,
right where
okay.
it leaves, where it
Okay.
leaves the cooker. And those chicken wings got to, what we were doing was basically a biscuit test.
Sure.
But instead of using biscuits, we're using chicken wings. And but this cooker, the Franklin cooker, from the front of it to the back, it had produced such a smooth line of heat, some heat just a little bit higher than more, but you could just tell that the every it seemed like every single wing was getting touched by heat. You know what I'm saying? Because
Sure.
of the vortex that's created in there. The hot air continually spinning, on its way out through that huge what 42 inch
43 inch?
tube.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
that tube is so huge. And I was just so impressed. It's fun to. I've always enjoyed running an offset pit. I had a Jambo. Before that, we had some HBTs. Before that, we had it wasn't a Lang, but it was a knockoff of a Lang, of a reverse flow. And I've always enjoyed running them because it's fun to learn to manage a fire, especially on a different apparatus. And this thing that the fire management on this is the only thing you've got to learn, Pete and Jason, is to let the cooker do some work. Let it do its job, and don't load it up with too much fire.
I will tell you that the wings today, I didn't try. I wasn't there the other day when he did them, but the wings that came off there today were probably the best smoked wings I've ever put in my mouth.
Awesome.
They cooked so evenly across the cooker. When we're done, I mean, Steve put salt, pepper, garlic on them, and the skin just pulled tight on them and tightened up while they were smoking. And actually, he flipped them one time about maybe 3 to 4 minutes before they were done.
I moved them to that hot spot where it came right out of the firebox, and I flipped them there, and I put a bunch of them right there, so they get crispy because I like to get a little crisp on them.
But I will tell you this: there's some new sauce in town that you need to try. We tried some sauce that Steve had in there, Terrapin Farm sauce that I have never tried. The hot pepper bacon chicken sauce.
Ah.
Boy, stuff's good.
And there was another one that's their sweet sauce. And I'll tell you, it's the first time I've tried either one of them. Of course, I've got them at home now. And I actually had to have my wife try some before I came tonight because I was amazed at the flavor of them. But those wings, back to the wings, the most smoked, excellent flavor, unbelievable through it. Just taste every bite, you could just taste it.
So talk to me on that. Give me a flavor profile. Talk to me about the balance of smoke versus flavor. From what I'm hearing, it was perfectly balanced.
So it was funny because it had that great smoke flavor, but Steve had made up his own salt, pepper, garlic mix, and that's what he put on them. And I could tell you every bite, you got that salt, pepper, garlic with that smoke. It was amazing. It really was a fantastic cooking flavor on it. And then we added some different sauces just to dip in and try with it along the way. But it was really good, Jason. Really good.
Y'all sauced them after they come off.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And you really didn't. You don't have to use sauce. I usually use Eric Lee's Fire Dancer on my chicken wings. But the reason I just wanted to use salt, pepper, garlic on these is I really wanted to taste the skin and the meat, and I wanted to give it a little bit of flavor, but not a punch of a flavor, because that Eric Lee's Fire Dancer chicken rub is so good. I mean, it's if I was having a party or something like that, if I'm cooking for the guys, that's what I'm using on it because it is so good. But
Pete, that's the chicken rub that you turned me on to, right, Pete? The Fire Dancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. But I just used the simple rub because I wanted to taste the skin. I wanted to taste the meat, and even the guys at the shop who we gave the wings to after we made them for for lunch, they all commented on, Steve, these are the smokiest ones you've ever cooked, and it wasn't a bad smoke flavor. It was a clean running fire smoke flavor.
It's
They
hard.
really are. They really that cooker, and it's not what I did. It's that cooker. It is so efficient, and it moves the airflow at the perfect amount of speed, through there when because I was cooking between 300 and 310. That's what I like to cook up there. A lot of people like to do stuff at 275, 285. When I'm doing wings, and if it goes to 325, that's okay too, because I don't want to take all day. And you get such a better flavor, I think, and get a good crispy, not a fried chicken crisp, but a nice a little resistance before it bites in, and you get such a tender meat, under that tough little bite, that first bite you get.
You just don't want the rubbers.
It made me realize that how much I missed occasionally using my offset. I use my pellet grill so much that the flavor off of that offset today made me say, you know what? The next time I cook wings, I'm not cooking them on my pellet smoker. Not that they aren't good,
right?
But they don't have that smoke, that smoke, little charcoal flavor from when you started it up. It was fantastic.
That's what I was fixing to say. I mean, there's a ton of different styles of smokers and pits nowadays, from the gravity feeds to the verticals to the, you name it, it's out there. It's very, very, very hard to beat an offset smoker when it comes to flavor, hands down.
That charcoal one that we've got that's only $289. You could set that up in a 2-zone. You could put the charcoal to one side, and you could do the wings on the other side. And then when you're ready, if you want to take them up to like 160, you could easily move them over to the hot side and fry them off, and you will get a crispy, smoky tasting wing that way. So there's, you don't need a $5,000 smoker to get a good taste. You could do it on that little 289. It's just that charcoal taste that, we've been cooking on pellet grills for so long that I think we forget how really good wood and charcoal is.
I have.
It's hard to replace it, that's for sure.
But with a pellet grill, you can smoke them, and then you can take them off the grill and turn, with a Green Mountain grill, you can turn that thing up to 450, 500 degrees, and you can finish them off on a hot grill and get a great taste too.
Well, you're now going to have two options on Green Mountain Grill, where you have the grill grates, which is always a great way to do it. Those things get hot. You can sear them. You can finish them off. But now the new products that are coming out with Green Mountain Grill, they have a searer that actually you can take the right-handed table off and you put it on. It's a searer that actually will sear your steaks, cook. You can put pans on it and cook. You can do virtually anything. You can flip that grate over. It's made of different metal, I think, than grill grates.
Yeah.
And you can flip it over, and you can actually use it as a flat griddle.
Yeah.
So and that's just one of the parts that you could buy to go along with it if you choose to do it. I'm thinking to myself, I have a grill outside I use just for that I don't need anymore if I have one of those searers on the side.
Yeah, this sear station, it's electric too. You plug it into another outlet and it heats up, so you can move the steak. You can smoke that steak like a tomahawk on your Green Mountain Grill, and then you can move it over and finish it off on the sear station. And oh man, it's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool.
It's a glass tube.
Yeah.
That glass tube is what gets so hot, and it was amazing. He said, "Oh yeah, you pull this out, you can clean all that up, you can do this, you can do that, no problem."
On the original Green Mountain Grills too.
So
yeah, new ones and the old ones.
Let me on the Franklin. So when you got it up to temp and got it operating, tell me about the efficiency of it. Like, how often do you feel like you had to add a split? Did it run pretty good ways before temp started dropping? Talk to me about the operation of it.
Yeah, what I did, I kept it on the brisket that I did. I kept it right around 300. That's just where I feel comfortable cooking. And it's 300 there at the end of that smoker. So I'm probably guessing there in the middle, it's probably 285, 290 consistently there in the middle. One log at a time. I will have to get a chop saw and tighten up my logs a little bit. They're just a little bit too long for that. Steve Davidson was there, and he was running it with me, and he was putting the logs across, and that really did seem to do a better job of maintaining the heat than just putting them in there straight like I was doing. So I learned something there to run those logs horizontally instead of vertically in that smoker.
Give it a little air gap under there and let it pull
exactly
through.
Exactly. So when we started doing that, it really became one log responsive. And it's like anything else. You have to anticipate when it starts going down a little bit. It's going to take that log a little bit to ignite, and to feed that fire and get it back up. But what was neat about it though is a couple times when I got it too hot, all you have to do is open that back door on the firebox, and that temperature comes right back down. So that's how you it's just that door is magical. He said he made 80 doors before he settled on one. Well, I can see why he was doing that. That door is it is a work of art.
Well, it's all about air and fuel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of the game on running an offset.
But if you're interested in a good offset that is of heirloom quality, the Franklin that's the one to get.
So Jason, I kind of want to answer a little bit just from what little I've cooked with Steve on it through some of that brisket. You were asking about efficiency. I will tell you that once you get your first, you get your fire going good, when your smoke's just rolling like you saw in that picture, and it starts hitting the clear, right? It's now rolling clear, and everything's hitting in on all the cylinders. It then is just a matter of we're put very small logs on it, but just a matter, as Steve was saying, if I'm wanting it at 300. When he started seeing it go down, which your fire is still warm in there, but it's down. It's just a log. Close her back up or to whatever area you want it. Right. And it's just maintaining it between that. So we didn't burn, 25 logs in it today.
Oh, no.
I would hope not.
No. So we burnt. My point is, once you start original with probably maybe 4 pieces in there, cross like Steve's talking about, it's then adding, we might have added today probably 4 or 5.
Would you say like a split an hour? Split every hour and a half? What?
No, split probably every half hour,
Okay.
a half hour to 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah, they're
okay.
small because it's
But I don't think we, together today, and honestly, when we left it, when we got the wings done, we left it was 300 degrees and still motivating.
Right.
now I was using oak. I've been using oak the last 2 times I cooked on
Okay.
it. I've got some pecan back there, but I've been using the oak because I've got a double batch back there. I need to use it up. But I tell you, it is unbelievable how the craftsmanship, the all the things that he talked about are all things that Jared talked about last week on the show. They're all true. That this thing has been designed to give the amateur uh, total control as well as a seasoned professional. If you want to get up there and start cooking hot and fast, you can do it on this thing too. But if you wanted to keep it low and slow, run it at 240, 250, you can do that as well.
It didn't take, to me, just watching and being over there with Steve when he's doing this, it wouldn't take the average person any longer to learn how to do the Franklin as it does to do any other offset. Because there's a learning curve for everybody to learn your smoker.
I call it a dance. You have to learn to dance with it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I feel real confident if somebody said, Steve, show me how to run the G2. I could build them a fire, get a fire going for them. And if they said I wanted a 265, we could hit 265 easy. I've got, because I've used it one time and I know the characteristics of it.
And that was a 4 or 5 hour cook you did on it.
Yeah.
So it was nice. I mean, you got there were some good learnings out of that.
We only got it hot one time.
Yeah.
That's all. And then, but you know what? I told him, I said, if it gets hot, you just open the doors. That's all you got to do. It's not the end of the world. You just open the door and the heat goes right out. It's amazing. And you just let it sit there and go out for a while. And then you close the door and you bring it back.
That double insulated box holds that heat in there.
Yeah, it really does. That's in the old country barbecue pits G2. Yeah. Which is, if you don't want to swing the Franklin, the G2 is a good pick if you're looking for an offset. And plus too, you can finance a G2 with Flex Buy too. They don't have a minimum, so you don't have to spend $5,000 to use it.
Green Mountain Grill,
Yeah.
an old country, you can, any of those, a pit barrel, whatever it takes.
And all we're trying to do is give everybody a choice, not only in different cookers, but different price lines. Not everybody wants to start with a $800, $900 smoker.
So Steve,
they want to start maybe a $249 smoker or a $289 charcoal grill that they can use as a smoker.
There were times in my life when I really wanted, a specific smoker or specific grill that I couldn't afford, honestly, to just pay cash for it or write a check for it.
Yeah.
Years ago. And what I did, if I could get it, a layaway or get it financed, it's what I did. I borrowed $1,000 a year to go on vacation and paid it off before next year when I borrowed $1,000 again. My point to that is it's an opportunity that I had that I would have never had when I was younger because of that. So today, this is a great opportunity for somebody who walks in your store and looks at either the best or one smallest or whatever and says, I want it, but I don't have the money. Well, guess what? You have an opportunity to get it this way.
Well, we've got price selection. We've got product selection. We have a way for you to buy it if you don't have all the cash and you have the disposable income where you can get it comfortably, not put yourself in a bind. We don't want anybody to put themselves in a bind buying a smoker. Okay, but what we've got now are all the tools in our 5th year in business. I think this is the year where we have got something for everybody, Jason and Pete, something that if you want to learn to cook on something, I've got something in that store that you can learn to cook on.
Yeah,
live fire wise.
it's definitely one of the most versatile barbecue shops that I've been in. You know, and most of y'all know I travel with my job, and I hit various ones throughout the whole Southeast. I cover 8 states with my job, and I will say Owl's Nest has definitely the most versatility when it comes to product selection that any of them that I go in. You've got them all the way from your weekend tailgater all the way up to your backyard Cadillac. You know, competition it doesn't matter. You've definitely nailed it on the product selection.
So many times we pigeonhole ourselves. I'm a competition cook. I'm a backyard cook. I'm this. I'm that. You don't have to be anything. You can be everything. And
Jason,
being everything, or being a backyard cook, is probably the greatest cook to be, because it's relaxing. Contest cook,
Absolutely.
you don't relax at a contest. And it's different food. It's not as good as what you can make on your back door and in your back porch. I'm telling you, it's
so Steve, actually, if I was listening to this on the side, what I'm thinking to myself as a backyard person, any of these cookers, any of these smokers, I can cook just as good as anybody else with any of them, just knowing a few things on how to use them, what temperatures, seasoning, different things that will, and you can be just as good a cook as a guy 3 doors down that you hear about, or the guy that's on the show here. It's different levels, but at the end of the day, to be able to do what you want to do and enjoy it, and then the people that you're cooking for me, is the most important thing, that they're enjoying it. So, and you can do that with any of those smokers you've got there.
And what we do too, we're always there to give you advice. 2 times this week, I was talking to 2 different customers, and we were talking about ribs, and they said, I cooked the ribs on the smoker, and then they did good for an hour and a half, and then I went to wrap them. I put in the brown sugar, I put in the butter, I put in the honey, I put in the orange juice, wrapped them up, and I put them back on the grill and on the smoker, and I took them apart. I tested them, and when I took them apart, they were caramelized, they were black and gooey, and I said, "Well, you cooked them on the smoker on the bottom, right? Like on the grill." They go, "Yeah." I said, "You can't cook them there when you put all that stuff in there, because it's sugar.
Sugar.
You got to get it up." I said, "You've got to get it up into the smoker. You are grilling. You got to get it up into smoking. That's where the magic is."
And
And I
that's
said,
where I go back to, if you're buying a grill or a smoker at a big box store, most of the time they do not have the knowledge to tell you that.
"No, they're not going to tell you that." That's like on that on the G2, and on the gravity feeds, even on the Franklin, the racks are in the heat zone. They're not on the fire. They're in the zone. The heat is coming and it's moving around them, and that's what you've got to have. You can't put sugar in foil and then put it on a grill where it's hot. You just
It
can't
has to
do
be
it.
indirect.
Yeah. And then they think about it and go, "Oh, I see." And so that you help them. And then I saw somebody posted on our Owl's Nest Barbecue Nation page this past week. A couple came in, and I was coaching them a little bit on ribs, and their ribs turned out perfect. First time they'd done them. I said, "Don't get them too hot."
I hate to say this. The other day, I like to call and find out, everybody that comes. Sometimes you get people in the store and they're like, "Well, Walmart got this and that." I'm like, "Well, how do you know?" And they go, "What do you mean? How do I know? I saw it." "Well, have you asked them about it?" "You've asked me 10, 15 questions. "Well, not really." So I've called myself Academy the other day and asked about, "Can you tell me what kind of rubs you carry?" Well, hold on. I have to get somebody who works in that area. Okay. So finally they get there. I'm like, "Okay, can you tell me what kind of rubs you have?" "We got about 8 or 10 different ones. I'm not exactly sure what they are. We change up every now and then, but you can come in and look." Did the same thing at Walmart. "Can you tell me?" I said, "I'm looking for a grill, a gas grill for my son. And kind of like, know, what is it you carry? What do you carry in the pellet line?" Well, they're up on the shelves in here in boxes. Sometimes we put them together. Not exactly sure what we got, but I know we might have one of those little kettle like Weber things there, but I'm not really sure. But come on in and look. So you can't get any information. And even if you go in the store and ask, they're going to walk you over to the area and say, here you go, but I don't know anything about it.
Well, and plus too, they're gonna have pellets. They're gonna have cheap pellets. That when they have the same pellets that I have, though, they're the same price. 20 pounds, $15 when they have the good pellets. They're selling them for the same price, and they're only gonna have them a few months. That's the thing. When
you and I went somewhere the other day and looked at them
at Walmart, yeah.
Was it Walmart?
Yeah, it's at Walmart. All the good stuff, their good stuff was the same price as ours. Now they had the junk. They had sawdust pellets. If you want to burn that and have to clean out your smoker.
The after the sale care is important to me.
Selection. They only had
No. So we'll blow our own horn for a while. Then that's we're proud of what we got, and I'm real proud of what we put together this year. And we want people to come out and just give us a shot. We're not going to be as cheap as Walmart. No, but who is?
Well, first of all, you're a small business owner, and nobody can compete when it comes to some of that stuff with academies or Walmarts. But listen, we're a small communities of people here that are people just like us trying to make a living that own small businesses. I'm a big believer in helping small businesses. You got to do what you got to do. There's a whole lot more getting the talks you get, learning the things that you get out of these small businesses are 10 times more than, I don't know anybody that's ever been to Academy, Walmart, or any of these places that didn't get frustrated and walk out at times because they couldn't get no help. Nobody could tell them about it. Whether it's a smoker or whatever it is. But, Steve, I'll tell you, you have one of the best little stores around. And, I hear it all the time from people that come in and look. And, the good thing about Owls and Us Barbecue is I can tell you the majority of the people that come in there and buy something, they turn out being just lifetime members, lifetime people, customers that come in there all the time because of the service they get and any opportunity. Somebody's wife comes in, hasn't got a clue. Just what my husband does. Can you help me? Sure, we can do that.
Hey, look here, John Harrison, and we're going to have to go here. David Bosca coming up at 7:30 on the Butcher Barbecue YouTube channel. John Harrison writes, years ago, I used offsets and a homemade pit till I built my drum smokers before everybody was buying gateways. Used them in comps. For community large cooks, cases of meat, we'll cook on a big pit. But if I'm personally cooking, I'm strictly a can man. And there you go. We have the pit barrel cookers. $3.99 for the big one, $3.99 for the original one, and we have the Badger $2.49. So John, you're right. Barrel cookers, can cookers, they're wonderful. They're fantastic, and we're happy to offer those. So we've got something for everybody. John wants you to cook on cans. We've got those. You want offsets? We've got those. Pellet cookers? We've got those. The gravity feed charcoal wood cookers? We've got those too. So come and see us. Hey, don't forget, coming up at 7:30 over on YouTube on the David Bosca on the Butcher Barbecue YouTube channel. David Bosca will be coming up in just a few minutes and doing his product review show. It's a lot of fun. Pete and I'll be watching, and we hope to see you there. Jason, thank you so much for filling in for Barbecue Mike. I forgot to mention Barbecue Mike he had a prior commitment and couldn't be with us tonight. But appreciate Jason filling in for him. And I appreciate. I hope we see you Saturday. Okay, Jason.
All right, buddy. We'll see y'all. Have a good evening.
Make it up.
See you, Jason.
All right, man. We're gonna get out of here. We'll see everybody Saturday at the store, and we're open. Don't forget, we're open Monday through Friday, 6:30 until 5. Saturday 6:30 until 4 o'clock at the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show or Owl's Nest Barbecue Store in Ottawa, Tennessee. We'll see you there.
Show.
Absolutely.
Go back. Here you be looking. Here you be